Recently I made cinnamon rolls for the first time. I've never done anything with yeast before because it's supposed to be very difficult in gluten-free baking. And really what ensued was chaos. Sticky icky! Let's not jump to conclusions though, let's follow along in the process and see how things went down. It all starts easy enough with lining a roughly 11 by 11 inch square baking pan. Next up, go ahead and prepare your workstation. We need some cling wrap to roll up the dough and some water to wet our fingers. We don't want the dough sticking to them. It's early in the process and I didn't know it yet, but I already made my first mistake here. Choosing a water bowl that is way too small, considering how sticky the dough will turn out in the end. Wetting just your fingertips doesn't cut it. A full-on plunge bath is needed to get the job done. Probably should have read the instructions more carefully. Then you need to put some oil on the film. This is also to prevent the dough from sticking to it. If you haven't noticed it yet, this dough is gonna be super sticky icky. Now we are mixing warm water with maple syrup and sour cream. The sugar will feed the yeast and the sour cream will make all of this taste even better.
Nice.
Before we can add the yeast dough, we need to make sure the mixture is warm enough to activate the bacteria that will help to make the dough rise up. In the recipe I used, a double boiler was recommended to heat up the mixture. This didn't work well for me. Just a few seconds on the boiler will heat up the mixture way too much. If you have an oven thermometer, you can use that to check the temperature. It should read around 105 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius. If you don't have any fancy thermometers around the house, just drop some of the mixture on your wrist. If it's warm and comfy for you, it will also be warm and comfy for your little yeasty boys. If it's too hot on your skin, you'll definitely be burning the boys. Finally, time to add the yeast and a dash of ginger to the mixture. To find out if you started the Yeasty Boys mass murder event or not, you need to let everything sit and brew for around 7 minutes. Now that you have this precious time to yourself, it's time to reflect on life. Time to think about why you are planning to absolutely stuff your face with cinnamon rolls when you could be outside exercising right now. Okay, no. It's actually time to mix the dry ingredients for the dough now. Just let future you deal with the obesity problems. We've got some almond flour, flaxseed meal, and of course some protein. Then some sugar, xanthan gum, baking powder and salt. Apparently the xanthan gum is needed to give the dough a gluten-like structure. If you never heard of it, it's the same stuff that is used in toothpaste to give it its consistency. Kinda gross I guess, but anyways the stuff is 100% natural. We can also throw together the cinnamon sugar mixture now, which is literally just sugar and cinnamon. We also need some butter, because everything tastes better with some butter inside of it. Lazy as I am, I like to melt mine in the microwave. Time to check if our yeasty friends have properly activated. If you have done everything right, you should see some bubbles. You can now add some room temperature eggs, butter and a splash of vinegar. Mix everything together carefully. Now this is where the fun begins. If you are romantic like I am and primarily like to use manual kitchen equipment, this dough is way too sticky for your whisking friend. Sticky icky! Definitely use an electric mixer for this. If you don't have one, why not make another recipe? How about these tasty paleo pancakes that are way less work and taste just as good? If you somehow manage to get the dough together, it's finally time to assemble the rolls. Use roughly a third of the mixture and spread it on the prepared piece of cling film. You will need a lot of water to handle the dough. Spread the dough evenly across the film. Then brush generously with butter and sprinkle with a healthy dose of cinnamon sugar. Next, spin the dough with the help of the cling wrap into a roll, kind of like making sushi.
I'm going to die if I don't eat sushi! Sushi! It's still good! Apologize!
Afterwards, cut your roll 3 times with a sharp wet knife. Here I thought I'm going to be smart and layer the rolls twofold. First by rolling everything together and then by rolling the sliced part again. Unfortunately, this isn't a croissant, so I think I might have hampered the raising abilities by doing this. Don't be stupid and try my croissant technique, but just turn the rolls and set them on their side. Do it like this person. Time to proof again, this time for a full hour. While the rolls are proofing, you can also prepare the glaze. Super easy, just use a bit of cream cheese, more butter of course, then some sugar, vanilla and a pinch of salt. How can something not taste good if you cover it in a mixture made of butter and cream cheese? Use some heavy cream or milk to thin out the mixture if it's too thick. Also preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. If it's currently not the hottest summer ever recorded at your location, then this is a good opportunity to place your proofing rolls on top of the oven so they can take advantage of the residual heat. It's real time, I'm so excited! Looks like that didn't proof that well in my case. Oh no! Does this mean I killed the Yeasty boys? I guess not mixing the dough properly and my failed attempt at marrying a croissant with a cinnamon roll will yield these kind of results. Anyway, let's bake these and see how they turn out. Bake for around 20 minutes or until golden brown. Last thing to get the job done is drizzle these bad boys with a generous serving of our glaze. We did it! Time to dig in!
Oh! Der ist noch heiß. Aber herzhaft. Also relativ herzhaft. Nicht so süß, wie man es erwartet, wie man so eine Cinnamon Roll erwartet. Für den Aufwand wert, lohnt sich das?
Lecker. Aber wie lange hat das jetzt gedauert?
Aber die Konsistenz finde ich ganz geil. Tschüss!
In the end, I just want to note that even if things don't turn out like you expected, if they get messy, they can still turn out very delicious. The most important thing is having fun creating something. And maybe learn something along the way that you can use in a future recipe. What did I learn from this? Probably that I shouldn't record videos with recipes I've never done before. Or is it? Leave a comment down below and let me know if you want more videos of me making stuff for the first time. Until then, see you in the next one.